The moment I saw Amanda's SUV barreling down my private road like she owned the place, I knew it was time to stop being nice. Her tires kicked up a thick cloud of dust, coating my freshly washed truck in another fine layer of dirt. I clenched my jaw as she rolled right past, without so much as a wave. Not even a nod of acknowledgement, just the usual entitled oblivion that made my blood pressure spike. This wasn't the first time. It wasn't even the 10th. It was probably closer to the 100th, and something inside me finally snapped. If Amanda wanted to use my road so badly, she would have to start paying for the privilege. I bought this property for peace, privacy, and the simple joy of sitting on my porch without dealing with nosy neighbors and unnecessary drama. The land came with a long, well-maintained private road leading straight to my house. A road I personally graveled and meticulously kept in top condition. It wasn't connected to any homeowners association, HOA, which was precisely why I'd chosen this place. No rules, no arbitrary fines, and no ridiculous power trips. But Amanda, the self-appointed queen of the neighborhood, saw things differently. She treated my road as a convenient shortcut, bypassing the stop signs and speed bumps the HOA installed to control reckless driving. She treated it as hers. At first, I let it go. It seemed minor, just one car. What harm could it do? Soon, though, one car became two, then five, then an entire convoy of HOA members racing through like my driveway was a public highway. Amanda always led the charge, waving cheerfully as if I was her personal toll booth operator. Initially, I tried civility. I politely reminded her that this was private property and the HOA had no jurisdiction here. She laughed dismissively, her voice dripping with condescension. "Oh, sweetie, this road is part of the community. You can't keep people out. That's not neighborly." I reminded her again, less politely this time, that I wasn't part of the HOA and the road was literally mine, even showing her the property deed. She smiled, unfazed. "Well, you should join the HOA. It's what keeps neighborhoods like ours safe and orderly." Safe and orderly? I stared pointedly at the SUVs speeding down my road, spraying gravel and nearly running over my dog just last week. Then came complaints, letters, and passive-aggressive notes jammed in my mailbox, accusing me of not properly maintaining the road and asserting my obligation as a community resident. Amanda escalated further by hosting an impromptu HOA meeting right in my driveway, claiming they were planning neighborhood improvements. One afternoon, I found lawn chairs lined up neatly, HOA members sipping lemonade like it was a Sunday picnic. I ordered them off my property in no uncertain terms, and Amanda predictably responded with pettiness. She redirected delivery drivers through my road, falsely labeling it an official HOA access point. Daily traffic surged from occasional trespassers to a relentless parade. The sheer audacity wasn't merely frustrating, it was infuriating. But what truly pushed me over the edge was when Amanda stood defiantly in my driveway, arms crossed, declaring the HOA had voted. "We've decided," she announced smugly. "Your road is essential to the neighborhood's infrastructure. You can't restrict access." I blinked incredulously. "You took a vote?" She nodded triumphantly. "Unanimous decision. You realize this is private property?" I rubbed my temples. Amanda smiled patronizingly. "You'll understand eventually. We're all about community here." That night, sitting on my porch, a cold beer in hand, I stared at the tire marks scarring my pristine gravel road. I reflected on every time I'd let things slide to avoid conflict. I recalled Amanda's arrogant smirk and her ridiculous HOA vote to seize my land. No more. The next morning, I called a friend who ran a fencing business. Within days, a heavy-duty metal gate was installed at the road's entrance, complete with a sleek keypad demanding a toll payment before opening. I set a reasonable fee, $10 per use, not exorbitant, but enough to send a clear message. A sign beside it read, "Private property, toll road in effect. Residents welcome for a fee." Amanda saw the gate before I had a chance to show it off. Her shriek echoed through the neighborhood as she stormed toward me, heels clicking angrily on pavement. "What is this? A toll gate? I responded casually, sipping coffee. You can't be serious. I lifted the property deed. Dead serious. You want to use my road? You pay. Her face reddened spectacularly. You can't charge people for a community road. It's not a community road, Amanda, I said slowly. It's mine. Since you and the HOA decided it was essential, charging seemed fair. She sputtered wordlessly, rage twisting her expression. Predictably, she called the police. 2 officers arrived, mildly amused as Amanda dramatically accused me of holding the community hostage and illegally charging innocent families. They patiently listened, nodded, and turned to me, handing them my paperwork. I watched Amanda's face crumble as they informed her I was entirely within my legal rights. This isn't over, she hissed, storming off. Oh, I knew it wasn't. Amanda's next step was blocking my driveway, declaring a protest against my unjust taxation. Unfazed, I called a tow truck. Watching panic replace her fury as her car was hauled away was priceless. Soon after, an HOA letter arrived demanding the immediate removal of my gate, citing community safety and neighborhood harmony. Amanda personally added a threatening note. Failure to comply will result in serious action. I promptly returned a copy of my deed with a note. Nice try. Toll still $10. Surprisingly, not everyone minded paying the toll. Many neighbors happily paid for the shortcut, bypassing HOA congestion. Within weeks, I recouped gate installation costs and began turning a profit. Amanda stubbornly took the longer route, her resentment growing visibly each day. Then Amanda escalated further. Security cameras captured her, and HOA cronies plotting by my gate, bolt cutters in hand, ready to vandalize my property. I confronted them calmly, recording everything. Amanda froze, realizing she'd been caught attempting felony vandalism. When I mentioned calling the police, she retreated swiftly. An increasingly desperate Amanda sued, claiming my gate illegally obstructed a public road. Court was a spectacle. Amanda arrived, confident and articulate, only to have the judge dismiss her claims upon reviewing property records and security footage, proving her coercive petition was fraudulent. Humiliated and defeated, Amanda was ordered to pay my legal fees. Afterwards, the judge suggested an idea. If your road is so valuable, why not sell them access? Negotiations were satisfying. Amanda, subdued and powerless, watched silently as I outlined terms. The HOA ultimately agreed to pay a substantial annual fee for legal access, more than covering my property taxes. Non-residents still paid the toll. Amanda resigned from the HOA, moving away shortly thereafter, lamenting that greed had ruined the community. I celebrated with a party, neighbors toasting to justice as toll fees rolled in. Someone jokingly renamed the road Amanda Parkway, commemorating the ordeal. It all began as a petty shortcut dispute, but ended with steady income, neighborhood peace, and sweet justice. Sometimes justice doesn't just serve, it collects a toll.